We'd like to take a moment to thank our friends at Hester & Cook for sponsoring this podcast. Hester & Cook believes there's always a moment to celebrate, and we could not agree more. They make the most beautiful tablescapes for your holiday hosting, all from paper. Yep, you gotta see it to believe it. So stop by their stores around Nashville and Franklin, or shop online for the season's best holiday decor, gifts, and specialty tabletop items. Use promo code Magnolia for 15% off your first purchase in store or online at hesterandcook.com.
Great bookstores, vibrant local music scene, and fun casual pizza joints and coffee shops are just a few of the reasons we love college towns. Join us at the table as we discuss some of the great college towns we have across the American South. I'm Lainey.
And I'm Laura Beth, and we are Steel Magnolias. The strength of steel
With the grace of a magnolia.
We are here to have uplifting conversations about life in the South.
And we've got plenty of room at our table, so pull up a chair.
Welcome back to the table of the Southern Steel Magnolias podcast. We are really, really excited to jump into college towns across the South and Southeast and Southwest today, but just know, we picked 10, right?
Yeah, there's so many good ones, so y'all have some grace here.
I mean, we're not a magazine. We're not Travel and Leisure where we're going to be able to cover it all and visit it all. And we do try and keep our podcast to a certain about half-hour show time or a little less. So it would take hours to go through
totally
all the college towns. And if we feel like there's a part 2 that's required, then we'll consider. But
well, and I will say, in taking into consideration, we were calling these towns. So
yes.
I wasn't picking, something in a huge city.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
So we each have 5.
Yeah.
We separately...
Some we've been to, some some we haven't.
Yeah, we separately researched like we normally do, but where you want to kick us off?
Well, I'll start with an A since it's the first one.
Oh, that sounds like a good place to start.
A for the town and the college of Auburn, Alabama. Okay, the population of Auburn, I'll start with, is 79,000 people.
Auburn, Alabama.
Yes.
70,000. Okay.
79.
79.
Number of students at Auburn, 32,000.
Ooh, okay.
So it's fun to think about just how much that influences the town, right? Like, I just love that about college towns, how, you come into town and the pharmacy has welcome back students or whatever. Like,
windows are painted
You're not
up
going to see that in New York City.
Oh, gosh, no.
Or like a huge city.
Yeah.
They just can't do that.
Right.
So, or won't. But anyway, so Auburn's in eastern Alabama. It's known as the loveliest village on the plains. It's located 100 miles southwest of the world's busiest airport in Atlanta.
That's the world's busiest airport?
I think so.
Wow.
I think that's what it's been titled, thanks to Delta.
Yeah. And they're very international.
But that provides a great, easy access for international students. That's why I mentioned that. When you're driving to campus for the first time, you see the farmlands and rolling hills that we love here in the South. But also the Gulf Shore beaches are less than a 4-hour drive by car. So that's pretty fun if you're in college.
That's appealing for a senior in high school, considering options.
Toomer's Corner is kind of the famous little hub there at Auburn, located near the campus. It's one of the areas where there's lots of shops and restaurants, and I mentioned this in the intro, but I do love all the casual places that are so fun in college towns. The coffee shops and just all of that goes with a college town.
I mean, in general, I feel like there's just such youthful energy around college that's just going to bleed out into the college campus, that's just going to bleed out into
who's working in the hotels,
the town,
or right.
Yeah.
It really does.
I even have thought before how difficult I think it would be to be a college professor, because I just feel like you would constantly be reminded,
thinking of your age,
that you're getting older and the generation that's about to be in the workforce is getting further and further away from how young you probably feel.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
The great Matthew McConaughey line.
Yeah, I know. Me
You
too.
do it. You always do it better than me.
Well, the great thing about high school girls is I get older and the girls stay the same age. Yeah. And I mean, that's true. You know, there's always going to be another younger incoming freshman class.
That's right.
And you're going to be another year older. So, yeah.
Well, Toomer's Corner is also the home of the Toomer's Drugs, and that's been an Auburn tradition since 1896, known for its iconic lemonade.
Wow.
But yeah, the Tigers with their War Eagle chant that they do, and that's kind of a hello or a goodbye or a go Tigers.
I just saw a clip online the other day that was just talking about how discombobulated football teams of college football really do seem, you know, because the guy was jokingly going, okay, so we're the Auburn Tigers. Yeah, go Tigers. War Eagle. What?
What?
War
Where'd that
Eagle?
come
Like, what does
from?
that have to do with a tiger? Listen to our college traditions episode
There
if
you
you
go.
need more info on that.
Well, one thing I'll say about Auburn, too, because I have been here, and I know this is a skewed thing. Like, it depends on what group of people you're around, because there's intoxicated fans in every circle,
In every
rude
kinds of
people
sporting
in every
event, yeah.
circle. But I would say Auburn had some of the nicest fans I've ever been around.
That's good to hear. I went to an Auburn game, too, and so I didn't spend any time, you know, in and around town. I just really saw the stadium, but yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I just felt like the fans were classy.
Classy. Ooh, that's what you want. You want to be amongst
But
classy
again,
fans.
I just didn't. I wasn't around the.
There's always some black
unclassy
sheep in the
ones.
family. Yeah, that's so fun. Okay, I'll go Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, I want to preface this by saying I have a new television series that I am loving, and I
Okay.
don't love a lot of television.
You
series,
really don't.
So,
Do tell.
hopefully, if you all have similar interests at all to me, that you'll also enjoy this. It's put on by the Magnolia Network, which is the Chip and
How appropriate.
the Chip and Joanna Gaines. I know.
Okay.
I only like things with the word Magnolia in it, apparently. Chip and Joanna Gaines, they have their own television network now,
Yes.
Magnolia Network. It streams through Discovery Plus
Oh,
if you're
okay.
wanting to stream, or if you have a cable network package that has Magnolia Network, you can watch it there. But it's called Handcrafted Hotels.
Ooh. Oh, I would love this.
And I don't know if the plan will always be to just stay on brand with the graduate hotels, or if they're
That'd
going to
be fine
start
by
going.
me.
But that's where they're start. That's the one. There's like 6 episodes, I think,
Okay.
out right now. And it just walks you through the graduate hotel in one city at a time. And it talks about all of the decisions that they made.
We've talked about this, you and I, not on the podcast.
Yes, in the decor. Now, graduate
Would be so
hotels are
fun.
always located right next to a college campus, hence graduate. And we have one here in Nashville across from Vanderbilt. There's an episode on that.
But, okay.
There's one in Knoxville that we stayed at. There's an
Love
episode on
it.
that one. The guy that's founded the graduate hotels was a UT grad.
How fun is that?
He went to get his master's up in Northwestern, but his undergrad was UT.
Okay.
And I watched all those two, but then I also watched the Chapel Hill
Okay.
Graduate Hotel, and I learned so much. So even if you're just wanting to learn about a city, I feel like this is such a complimentary sort of entertainment show to go with this
That's
topic.
fun.
So definitely keep your eye out for that. But
What's their population in Chapel Hill?
they are 61,000.
Okay. And then 30,000 students.
So half of them students.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So UNC, University of North Carolina, is home there in Chapel Hill. They're the Tar Heels. And they are known mainly for basketball.
Yes. I have a fun comment in a minute. But go ahead.
The Ackland Art Museum exhibits European and Asian art there in town. There's a North Carolina Botanical Garden, which has like these beautiful nature trails and themed gardens. There's a planetarium and science center, the Moorhead Planetarium and Science Center. They've got all these wonderful programs and demonstrations they're all doing. Franklin Street is the street that would be lined with those cute shops and restaurants and bars that
Probably a Benjamin Franklin thing. Like,
probably
so many
I didn't-
are.
Yeah, I didn't look that up. That's our Franklin is
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
the Carolina Basketball Museum is free.
Oh, that
so
would
definitely
be fun
check
to
that out.
see.
Now, if you're in town to catch a game, you're right across from the museum. So you could do both of those. Or if you're not going to the game, you could still go to the museum and see Dean Dome, which is right across the street. Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan played basketball at UNC Chapel Hill for 3 years from 1981 to 84. And I mean, that's where they say Michael Jordan became Michael Jordan. So like, for instance, at this graduate hotel, when you walk in, the front desk at the lobby is the scoreboard of the like game defining point that he shot.
Okay.
It has the
How
exact
cute is
score.
that?
And that's when they say, like, that's when Michael Jordan became Michael Jordan. They have a room in the hotel there that is an exact replica of his dorm.
No.
So you can't actually stay in that room because it has, like, memorabilia. Like, it's for real
Really
stuff.
his stuff?
Yeah.
Can anybody go see it?
But you can tour it.
Okay.
So, like, if you're there, just ask the front
That's
desk manager
precious.
for a tour, and they'll show it to you.
Love it.
But yeah, great. I mean, North Carolina in general is so beautiful.
So beautiful.
So really all around that state, you're going to encounter mountains and just the beauty of North Carolina.
I think that's the oldest public university in the country.
Okay.
So many of those early ones were private.
Yeah.
I think it's the oldest public.
Yeah. Well, they are proud of Michael Jordan there for sure.
Well, I had a conversation with somebody recently that I thought this was so funny. He said that he was listening to, I don't know if it was a TV show or radio show. Anyhow, they were talking about things people don't understand unless they've lived in the South.
Okay.
And it was
So many things.
so many things. The importance of SEC football, like how much it penetrates the culture.
Yeah.
And the importance of the blue bloods of basketball
Okay.
being Kentucky,
Yes.
North Carolina, and Chapel Hill, and Duke.
Okay. The Blue Bloods.
The
yeah.
blue bloods, because
I
they're
hadn't
all
heard that
shades
term,
of
but
blue
yes,
in
yes.
their color. So
Yeah, that Carolina blue is a beautiful color.
It really is.
In fact, if I wasn't orange in my blood, that's where I would want to go, is towards that blue.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful. It looks good on everybody. It looks good in decor. Yeah.
But if you had, you'd be probably more of a basketball fan than a football
That's
fan,
true.
and we don't know what that would look like
That's
in
true.
you. So
That's true.
where to go next? Let's go south, south, south.
Okay.
I'm going Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Population of 222,000.
That might
so it's
be
getting bigger.
the biggest on the list. That's bigger than any on my list. I'll say
Okay.
that. So, yeah, because when you said Baton Rouge, I was like,
Is that a
it
town?
a college
I guess
town?
it's. Oh, yeah, it is.
It is. No, I knew there was. I knew it was.
I thought you meant
college.
like, is there a college there?
No, I
Oh,
meant
yeah.
like town. You know.
Yeah, I guess that one is pushing
No, it's
city.
good. 220. Okay. What would you say?
37,000 students.
Okay.
And it's the home of the Louisiana State University, the state's flagship university, and the largest institution of higher education in the state.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
The reason I picked this one is I just think I am so fascinated by the culture in Louisiana. You get that blend of French and English and Spanish.
Yeah.
You know, you get the live music that also includes Cajun and Creole.
Yeah.
Zydeco music. Like, just, it's very unique.
Yeah. It
there.
feels cliche to say it's a melting pot, but it really is.
It
There's
really,
so
really
much
is. And it has
blended
been for so
together.
long.
Yeah.
It's the state's capital, and it's located right on the Mississippi River. Lots of nightlife and restaurants, just a very vibrant campus life. Kind of even, just in some ways, rivals New Orleans with the culture.
Yeah. I
But
haven't been to Baton Rouge, but
I
yeah, I
haven't
would guess
either.
that there's lots of New Orleans feel to it.
But LSU football games are not just sporting events. They're massive celebrations of food and school spirit and just camaraderie. Just really a blend of cool culture and, SEC football.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it on the list.
Well, and we also didn't say at the beginning, I know we only picked 10, but we did pick one per state. So we've got 10 states represented here. So we tried to really spread out.
So there's a teaser if you're waiting to hear and your state's already been called. We varied it.
Okay, if you're in Mississippi, wait no further. I've got you. Oxford, Mississippi, population 26,000. What's the student count?
24,000. It kind of penetrates everything there.
I mean, it doesn't get more of a college town than
Yeah.
95% of the population being students. So Oxford is 75 miles southeast of Memphis. We've been there. We've toured through and hung out in Oxford. University of Mississippi, or Ole Miss, is right there in the city. It was founded in 1837 and is named for Oxford, England.
Yes.
Now, famous to the town is literary legacy William Faulkner, Nobel Prize winner, and his antebellum home Roanoke is where he actually wrote many
cool.
masterpieces, and you can visit. It's been fully restored. It's open to the public, and it is on the most beautiful piece of property.
Yes, just tree lined and
Magnolias
super
everywhere.
easy to get to.
Yes. The hub of the city center is the square, and that's where
We mentioned great bookstores.
That's where you'll find boutiques, restaurants, and then the, I would say, famous independent bookstore, Square Books. City Grocery is also right there in downtown Oxford, and it's a restaurant, and it has flavors of New Orleans inspired foods. But they say, I mean, it's as Mississippi as it gets. And the City Grocery saw Oxford's town square through revival, and it's now just kind of stands as a landmark right there in the dining scene. They're known, like I said, for a very New Orleans-ish, very inventive menu, whether that's grilled Gulf fish, shrimp and grits, or a flavorful crawfish and green pea bisque.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Lots of preppy clothing shops.
Oh, my goodness. Sororities are big there, so you're going to see a lot of Greek letters everywhere. Sororities and fraternities, not just sororities. Now, we went to Big Bad Breakfast when we were there, also started there. They've started to open additional restaurants, including some here in the Nashville area, in Franklin. That's also where I realized I had COVID back in 2020.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't really get to give Big Bad Breakfast a very fair shot because I had a sip of coffee and I was like, "Ooh, this is some pretty bland coffee." And
we were like, ours isn't.
Turns out I had COVID and didn't have a taste. So I need to get back to the original Big Bad Breakfast for a very fair assessment. Double Decker Arts Festival each May is a 2-day celebration of music and arts. Of course, there's tailgating at the Grove. The Lyric is a very popular live music venue. And although it's not Oxford, I have to mention Taylor Grocery because it's technically Taylor, Mississippi. But I mean, it's right there, y'all.
If you go to Oxford, you have to go.
And it has the best catfish ever.
And just such a great vibe.
Dive.
Yes.
Hole in the wall sort of spots.
That's my jam.
It's no reservations. It's bring a beverage to keep you cooled off while you wait. Very, very laid back, but really, really good food.
Yeah. And fun music. Like just a great vibe.
Yeah.
It's sweater weather and soup season, y'all. Laura Beth here to tell you about Zoop. Z-O-U-P. Zoop broths bring flavor to southern staples like really great grits, while their soups provide a comforting meal. Zoop is available at your favorite retailers across the country, including Instacart and online at walmart.com. For you Amazon shoppers, use promo code 20Magnolias, 20Magnolias, to get 20% off your first purchase on Amazon. Learn more at zoopbroth.com. And now, on with the show.
All right. The very first one of the towns that came to mind when I think college town, Clemson, South Carolina.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yes.
So great.
What's the population?
Let's see here. Population 18,000. You know, we've been given these numbers. I'm not sure if they're counting the students in the population because this one is population 18,000 and the university has reached over 25,000.
Okay.
So they're likely separate. But anyway, what I loved about Tiger Town is what they call it often because their mascot's the tiger, is just, I mean, it is in like one way in and you come in and you're just in this hub of a college town. It's nestled in the backwoods of upstate South Carolina, home to just so much energetic feel of the campus. They have a storied football program. It's just kind of that one road in, one road out kind of feel. So, yeah, you just feel like you're a part of it as soon as you get there.
Yeah.
It's tucked in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains and also just right near Lake Hartwell. It's driving distance from the beach and the mountains.
Wow. That's good.
So that's pretty fun if you're in college. Lots of outdoor stuff to do beyond football, though the football is its own beast.
Yes.
And they're,
yes.
Again, a
They're
storied
good.
team. They have a 9-hole disc golf course, picnic areas near, just really lots of fun ways to spend your free time in addition to your studies and sports.
If you're a student, you also should be studying.
Yeah.
We should say. Yeah.
It's probably good I wasn't driving distance to beach and mountains because I had a hard enough time staying focused.
I know, but that's the thing about a college town is it can be a nothing of a place.
Yeah.
And you've got enough vibrancy with having a college there
Right.
that it brings its own life. You don't need the mountains or the beach. I mean, those are great bonuses, you know, to be in close proximity. But
I just needed all those boys that were my same age to keep me occupied.
okay, I've got a big one. I would like to take us next to College Station, Texas.
Oh,
if
yeah.
college is in the name of your town,
You
then
deserve to
it's
be on the list.
Probably a good one to include. College Station is a population of 120,000.
Are you ready for their student count? 73,000.
Always bigger in Texas.
Everything.
So College Station sits between Austin and Houston, although it's north of both of those cities. It's a little less than a 3-hour drive south of Dallas. Dallas down to College Station, excuse me. College Station is home to Texas A&M University, and on campus, you've got the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum. We did a whole episode on presidential museums. If you're interested in that, definitely check that out. I'll link to it in our show notes. But President Bush, our 41st U.S. president, having a library there, I would love to make sure everybody catches this. There's an official slab of the Berlin Wall there at the library.
So cool.
There's a replica of the Oval Office. Anyway, just that's pretty extraordinary to me. So College Station, their origins go back to 1860, and they were right on a rail line. So that put them on the map to have a school there, then called Houston and Texas Central Railway. And 11 years later, the site was chosen as the proposed location for Agricultural and Mechanical College of Texas. That's the A and the M.
That's right.
Agricultural and Mechanical College. Oh, they renamed to be A&M in 1963. So there is a lot of tradition around campus and around town. Forbes actually named College Station the number 4 place to live in Texas.
Okay.
And they also named College Station as one of the top 25 best places to retire in America, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
I asked
Keep you young again.
I asked my friend Sue, she's an Aggie and goes to lots of games there. She lives in Dallas, so they traveled that 3-hour drive down to games. But she was just talking about the historic district, which they call the Histy-Disty. It's just this beautiful area of like 100-year-old homes with live oak trees. And I read a little bit about the preservation efforts that are taking place in this area because they've had a lot of homes that have been grabbed up by investors.
Uh-huh.
Some are being rented to college students.
Okay.
So some investments are just to have a rental property.
Okay. Hopefully at a decent price,
but
and not just to the wealthy ones.
There's some being torn down. There's a really good booklet of history that I found. I'll actually link to it in our show notes. If you are in the area and you would like to access a historical campus home tour, you can actually do that through this little booklet. But the North Gate area is a bar scene, the crown jewel of which is the Dixie Chicken. That was a bar established in 1974. Can you imagine if you were coming back to campus you went to school at, and a bar that opened in 1974 is still going?
Unbelievable.
Like, that just blows my mind. Like, that would be so fun. I thought we were doing
Think
good
about
how
all the
long
students
Hannah's
that had
in
been
Knoxville kept open. They definitely didn't outlive that.
yeah, cute historic downtown of Bryan, Texas is very nearby, and that was the actual original location of the college before they moved it to College Station. But yeah, very, very pro Aggie town, and
That's fun.
it's just going to be interesting to see kind of how the housing market goes there with people moving there to retire,
Yeah.
wanting investments. But yeah, there's lots of local level leaders that are probably needing to make some strategic decisions around there to preserve what needs preserving
No, don't want
and
to
help the city grow. It's
Yeah.
just that give and take. It's basically our last discussion we had with Clark Twitty about the Outer Banks and the
Yeah.
development there. So
Who, total side note, was also a UT Northwestern graduate. You were talking about that other.
a good combo, apparently.
Anyway.
Okay.
I'm changing my order
Okay.
that I was going to do because I want to tie the two together.
Okay.
So there's only 2 universities in the nation that maintain a full-time military environment within a larger civilian university.
Yes.
And that is the one you just mentioned.
Yes,
Texas
A&M.
A&M, along with Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put Blacksburg, Virginia on our list.
That's good. Yep.
Population of 45,000,
Okay.
37,000 students.
Wow.
So certainly a
Wow.
college town.
Yeah.
Absolutely just stunning limestone buildings on this campus. It's in Southern Virginia and home to the prestigious University of Virginia Tech. Blacksburg is just littered with young men in uniform. This is probably why Dad didn't take me to see this school, because I would have probably signed up for that. But yeah, I just think that's super cool that it's one of the only 2
Sure. Yeah, that's a
that
good
have
one to
both
mention. Yeah.
together. I didn't do a lot of research on this town as far as what all they have.
there's to do.
But where they're sitting, it's like the epitome of a gorgeous fall foliage images, tons of beautiful,
see that.
colorful trees, and yeah, lots of outdoor things to do
Yeah.
around there. So I just wanted to mention
That's a good one to
Blacksburg.
include. Okay, Athens, Georgia. I'm coming at you. Population 127,000.
40,000 students.
Okay. Well, it sits just northeast of Atlanta and, of course, home to the University of Georgia, whose football team, they're okay.
They're all right.
The Bulldogs, they did win the 2021 and 2022 college football national championship. But, you know.
They were also just named #1 college town on the Southern Living 2022 list of college towns.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't. Well, it's also home to a thriving music industry that gave birth to names like REM, the Drive-By Truckers, the B-52s, which most of those came through a iconic music club called the 40 Watt, which we did a iconic music clubs of the South episode. So if that is an interesting topic to you, I'll link to that in our show notes. But you know, I think maybe even on that episode, we talked about that college towns are like a breeding ground for good music.
They really are.
And I guess it's because you've got a music-loving fan base there that has time to listen to music. That
Energy, passion.
The rest of adults just we have to listen to podcasts and learn things.
Pay bills, go to work to pay the bills.
What is it to just stream music? But yeah, you've got a talent pool, young people that, you know, they've got more expendable time and time to practice, you know, so the Georgia Theater there in Athens, they get some really good touring acts. The downtown Athens area is known for a great bar scene. They have 80 bars in a single square mile.
Good Lord.
80.
They must all be kind of tiny.
80.
That's amazing.
It's kind of a foodie town, too. The James Beard Award-winning chef Hugh, I don't know if you know the Atkinson?
I don't know him.
Aikson. It's the 5 and 10. It was named one of the best restaurants in town and first opened in the year 2000.
Well, if it's still going, that says something,
I know.
too, in the restaurant world.
So it's got seasonal Southern favorites and a lovely weekend brunch as well. There's an arts and music festival, which is free. It's a 3-day festival every June, and it is set up to raise money for music and arts education for
young people, kindergarten through 12th age.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, cool
Victorian
town.
kind of era downtown.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Next up, this one's much smaller and it's on my bucket list, and that is Annapolis, Maryland.
Yes. They have a graduate hotel.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe we could go stay at the graduate in Annapolis.
Let's do. Population 41,000.
Okay.
The Naval Academy is only 4,450 people, so it's small.
Okay.
But still definitely a presence
for
in the
sure. Yeah,
town.
yeah.
And there's actually another small campus. I want to say it's only like 500 students, but St. John's College is also there.
Okay.
Now, one of the reasons this is high up on my bucket list, it's right there on the Chesapeake Bay. It's known as America's sailing capital, for goodness sakes. I love a sailboat.
Wow.
Also why the Naval Academy
Well, yeah,
is there,
makes
being on the
sense.
water.
It's coastal.
It attracts many because of its wonderful charm as an 18th century colonial capital. It's preserved in that they have a historic district. If you're a history buff, if you love antiques, this is a great place to visit. The community dates back to 1649.
That's crazy.
It boasts a lot of the Puritan exiles from Virginia ended up settling here. And it's just, it's got the largest collection of 18th century buildings of any other city in the U.S. And I thought this was really cute. The Naval Academy and that smaller St. John's College, their campuses are just right next, like both right there alongside one another.
Okay.
And they call the St. John students Johnnies. So the Johnnies challenge the midshipmen to a croquet match every year.
Oh my gosh.
I just thought that would be so cute to see, too.
Yes.
So we see you, Annapolis, Maryland.
That was
I
a
know
good
some
one.
may say you're not in the South. We'll judge that
We
when we
needed
go.
another state too. We didn't do anything in Florida, but we
But
needed to do another
sailboats,
state.
crab cakes, and naval men. I'm a fan already.
That's right. That's a good one. So that rounds out your list.
I'm done.
I mean, I'm not going to say I saved the best for last, but I sort of saved the best for last, which I'm talking about.
She's not biased at all.
Home sweet home to me, Knoxville, Tennessee. Population 192,000.
Okay. 34,000 students.
Okay. So it is starting to feel a bit of a stretch to call Knoxville a college town. There's just so much growth there. And
yeah, Knoxville and Baton Rouge are knocking on. Getting knocked out of the town list and being the college cities. But that's all right.
But since I was so familiar with it, I just thought, why not put it in the list? There's a lot of restaurateurs and artisans, massive popularity in tourism. You've got the Great Smoky Mountains right there.
It is sitting on that Tennessee River. I mean, y'all.
So it is home, of course, to the University of Tennessee, and the town is definitely painted orange wherever you go, all the way into West Knoxville. And, it covers the gamut. It's such an outdoorsy town. We mentioned it sits on a river, and it's right by the Smoky Mountains, so you're going to see a lot of outdoor culture, canoe rentals, outdoor shops, bikers.
Larbeth took snowboarding class.
In Gatlinburg, I did. Yeah, you've got fake ski slopes right there in Gatlinburg if you were into that. I do love the contrast that you can feel between the campus of UT versus the downtown area of Knoxville.
They got a cool urban...
and that's kind of, I think, what I'm feeling is also what's distancing them away from being a college town, because their downtown area is bustling. I mean, they've got
that's true.
These extraordinary theaters down there and hotels and the Market Square area, which is a square of shops and restaurants, is a favorite of mine. The Tomato Head, which is a very eclectic restaurant with yummy everything. It's still there. Favorite bar is Barley's in the Old City, which is just another section of the downtown area. Favorite coffee shop is right next to campus, but not on campus. It's the Golden Roast. I pointed that out to you when we were there last time.
Though we went to Poindexter in the Graduate Hotel.
Yes, we did. I fell in love with jazz music at the Golden Roast. That's all they play usually. And so I just remember sipping a cafe mocha there and
listening to jazz and feeling all smart.
Oh, yeah, because that was before I knew how to drink coffee, so I dabbled with mochas from time to time. Favorite venue is a tie between the Bijou Theater or the Tennessee Theater. They're both on Gay Street in downtown Knoxville. And my favorite place is just outside the library entrance on campus because you can see the business building where I had all my classes, but most importantly, you can see Neyland Stadium.
Aww.
And if you get to go on a game day where there's 100,000 people descending onto the stadium, it's just unparalleled.
It really is when you think about, Dad, of course, our dad is full of statistics, so he's always got all the statistics. Yeah. But I believe on game day, Knoxville ends up surpassing Nashville's population or Memphis's population or something. Wow. Like it becomes the
largest or
second largest city or second largest or something. Anyway, I'm butchering that. I should have looked that up if I was going to mention it. But anyway, it's a lot more people than they're used to having.
So, yeah, I mean, it's an orange and white town, and you see it everywhere you go. So
can't miss that orange.
So many more good college towns out there than we are able to cover. But, you know, that was just a fun little exercise of why it's great to be in a college town and to visit or to live or to work, however close proximity you have. And check out that Handcrafted Hotels.
That sounds
series.
Really fun.
It's really fun. It's in season 2 right now, so... we'll be back next week. More Southern culture. Happy fall, y'all. It's officially October. Have a great week. Peace be with y'all.